Hello everybody and welcome to our Medicare and Minutes video series. My name is Sandra Jutton, and in today's video we're going to talk about the top 10 Medicare mishaps. First one we're going to talk about is not signing up when you are initially eligible. Whether you're turning 65 or maybe transitioning now from employer coverage and you're older, there is this time frame that you really want to make sure you're paying attention to, so that way you avoid any sort of penalties that could affect you and follow you down the road. Number 2, assuming Medicare covers everything. It's so important to remember that although Medicare gives you hospital and medical coverage, it doesn't give you an out-of-pocket maximum. So really there is no safety net put into place with Medicare, along with things like your vision, hearing, dental, and drug coverage. 3, selecting a plan without knowing all the facts. You may not know this, but there is what's called an evidence of coverage booklet. I think it's about 200 and some pages. Who's got time to read all of that, right? Well, there are so many ins and outs with your insurance policy that it's so important for us as your broker to know how that could affect you based on what you might need for your plan. You really want to know the ins and outs and all of that, so it's so important to work with us. 4, not taking advantage of open enrollment. This time frame from October 15th through December 7th is a huge window for folks to potentially shop around if your situation or even your plan might have changed. By using this time frame, you could be saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars with doctor bills or even prescription drugs. Take advantage of this. 5, thinking you'll be penalized if you don't act now. I know that there's a lot of verbiage out there that is scary, that if you don't do this, at this time frame, you're going to have this penalty and it'll follow you for life. Yes, there are penalties that we need to be aware of, but there are stipulations too. Talking with us as your broker will establish that we won't face penalties down the road. 6, opting out of drug coverage because you might not be taking any drugs. We know how frustrating it is to have to pay for something you potentially might not need. So if you're not taking any prescription drugs, we do get that. However, there is a penalty for folks who decide to decline Part D and then try to pick that up later down the road. Our best advice is to talk with us. Make sure that you have a plan that includes that Part D coverage, so that way we don't face penalties down the road. 7, assuming your spouse is covered because you are. We understand that coming into Medicare, a lot of us are on a group policy, maybe through an employer, maybe you're on a family plan through the marketplace. It is important to know that Medicare is completely individualized. So what you have and your spouse have could be completely different. 8, choosing a policy that potentially doesn't cover your doctors or your drugs. A huge takeaway is to understand that not one insurance policy is created equal. Each insurance carrier has a different formulary, has a different provider network, so not one policy is the same. You need to make sure you are selecting a plan that covers all of those things. 9, enrolling into a plan that your friend or your neighbor says is best. Maybe you're sitting around and having coffee with the gals or the guys and they're talking about their insurance plan. What they have, yes, we can certainly talk about those policies, but that does not mean that that plan is perfect for you. Unless you're taking all of the same prescriptions as your friends and going to all the same doctors, it's likely that that plan isn't as great for you as it could be for them. 10, making a decision without speaking to a Medicare specialist first. A huge takeaway from this is realizing that working with a broker is at no additional cost to you. So by me helping you narrow down the hundreds of plans that are available to you, your premium, your plan, nothing is influenced whether you do that with me or on your own. Why not work with somebody that does this every single day, knows the ins and outs of the plan, and has your best interest? A huge piece that we pride ourselves on at the Schatz Benefit Group is that our service does not just end at the sale. We want you to communicate with us during open enrollment. Let's talk about your plan and if your situation changed. Let's recommunicate at all during the calendar year if a claim or an issue or anything like that comes up. We know insurance and we know that there can be complications. Our job is to serve you. So let us help. If you did find this video helpful, like and subscribe to our channel below and check out the rest of our Medicare in Minutes video series.